Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da-boom. Is this light enough? Is this possible? Yeah, it is. Not a terrible image, is it? Not a clue if you have sound. I have a microphone hanging overhead. There we go. YouTube is such a vault of study material. It's fucking brilliant. Especially if you get into the science and the behavioral science and just any kind of science really at the moment. It's just fucking exploding. And it's fun for an old bag like me to just fucking hear them refute old fucking preconceptions. And just some of them literally remind me of arguments I had with, teachers in the 80s where it was just like, nah, that ain't it. And then, it's fun. It's good. Sort of. Anyway. So I'm waiting for an offered brunch. And I thought, what the fuck? If people offer me a brunch, I might as well share it. So I have no clue. It might be another hour before they come. But I thought I'd just go online, try another live stream, because I haven't tried a live stream since it went terribly wrong in during the exhibition two winters ago. At least as far as I recall, there were like episodes with image and no sound, or episodes where somebody was standing in front of the camera all the time and I didn't have the time to notice or whatever. So in this relaxed setting, I figured I'd give it another shot. I walk the streets at night and sniff the flowers by the roadside. I walk the streets at night when the color stands out and the wind brings me so many perfumes. Most flowers don't have thorns, she whispers through her fingers, as her branches carelessly ruffle the thoughts out of my hair. Her smile giving me the shivers, givingly spreads her lips. Most flowers don't have thorns. She sighs with the dancing wind. Just beware of bees and butterflies dancing down the street, because they only want one thing, it said. Yet how blissful a flight with sensuous might, to chase regret from any bed, then fly on like silken sheets, turn dragon's wings. I guess that's an ode to casual loving. Yeah. So anyway, the tricky thing is it's like a one-way interaction. If anybody watches this, I don't even know. So I don't know. Did you know it's like a one-way interaction? That's the weird thing with this sort of thing. And you got other setups where you can sort of like have conferences, but one thing at a time. These are two poems next to each other. One I wrote about 30 years ago, and one I wrote about 4 months ago. I'll do the recent one first. It's called Grave Marker of Goodness Sacrificed. And it's a grave marker poem, let's put it that way. cut sunflowers on a stone, marking a cut life mowed down by violence. Meanwhile, there's the heat, withering mindsets, static hum of antagonism as reality's waste wrappers breeze down the streets. Life is contagious in each and every way. Eyes kissing colors into the future blue. Life is contagious, like a melody invites to dance. What tune do you tap to? Sitting on the porch, chewing sunflower seeds. And then there's one that I wrote when I was like 17, so that's, 31 years ago. All tracks are beaten like the back of a slave. Where are you driven and what do you crave? If not the mercy of your song, to free from condemnation, your life song's lust, full instigation. Unsettle the dust till it rests in its grave. Life has been given. Now what does it crave? And I slipped my tongue here for a second because that's the funky thing. 31 years ago, I wrote it, your lifelong lust, full instigation. And I copied it into this book, which is like recent from a few months ago. And I changed it into your life song's lust. Because by now I experience, a being is biorhythmic fusion, So it's your life song. I like it better than lifelong. Lifelong still echoes that dramatic born in sin and hope we die so we finally have a good time. Fuck that. Let's have a good time on earth, motherfuckers. My mind doesn't work anymore. It functions fantastically. It just doesn't work anymore. It lives. Oh, come on. Now we got another lighter. I thought I did. Oh, well. Try and try again. So, this will probably be... if I get used to this, sort of like I'm just talking to a microphone and a camera, people out there tend to fucking enjoy it, then it'll probably turn into a series of everything you're not supposed to do on internet. I smoke, I drink, I curse, I swear, I am angry. I am as loving as I am angry. So yes, I am fucking angry. Why? Look around. No more fucking discussion. Fuck's sakes. From the depths of despair, there's a human shouting about hope. It's the only thing you'll never lose. He screams. There you go. You see, originally I wrote this, there's a man shouting, it's just like single sex. And then with all this fucking gender cleverness, I thought like, well, let's try this on a poem. Let's just see if you can write the fucking gender out of it, even though I'm a man and I'm just writing from my fucking perspective. From the depths of despair, there's a man shouting about hope. It's the only thing you'll never lose, he screams. And then the sexless version is, from the depths of despair, there's a human shouting about hope. It's the only thing you'll never lose amidst the echoing screams. It works, but it kind of feels, I mean, maybe it's because I'm writing it that I feel the shave in it, but it kind of feels like it's, it's doctored or something. I don't know. Feedback appreciated. Anyway. Hang on, because I left the room door open so I could hear the bell. That's okay. So, where were we? From the depths of despair, there's a man shouting about hope. It's the only thing you'll never lose, he screams. Let's try that again. From the depths of despair, there's a human shouting about hope. It's the only thing you'll never lose amidst the echoing screams. Well, I could get into it. It is more inclusive. As I climb up and past, all I can muster is a dry, wry grin. Keep believing, my exhale whispers, and you'll never get beyond. Thinking that you have a soul? Does a wave own the sea, boundless being roaming free? Does a wave own the sea? Material existence, yes, it does matter to me. For I am purposefully driven, driving myself to be now and here before you. And this rainbow light coursing through my bones keeps beating the heart drum, singing over and over, embody me, embody me, embody me. The rhythm of existence, the mantra of existence. Energies shape realities. Listen for a song in the murmuring stream of frequencies. Embody the dance as you stagger on, climbing, taking, and descending the stages of life, life on stage, performing reflections, mirroring the searchlights in the spotlights of your mind. While as a person, we are beyond hope, and so never without anticipation. For curiosity leads the water from the source to the well, life springing up from the deep, below the lake where everlasting ageless children weep over the fragility of succulence, the dissipating dots in dreamtime paintings, being but a drop of life. You see, the original version ended with, and so never without anticipation. I've read it quite a few times like that. And then when I was copying it in here, I added the last part. I really fucking dig it. So, yeah. Brunch is coming. Brunch is coming. Da-dee-doo-dee-da-da-da. I'm not going to do songs. Don't feel like doing songs. Well, I like this one, though. This one's called Orgastic Organisms. Creation is our prime directive. That's what we have in common with every living organism on Earth. Just outdo death in creativity and let the cosmic dance continue. I don't have feelings. I am emotion. Contagious flow of compassionate indulgence. Cup your hands and drink, my love. Drink life, lest it dies unwanted. So long this earth keeps spinning, yet we sit and watch the sunrise like everything revolves just around us. When will we learn to adapt ourselves instead of staying deaf to the music of tomorrow? When will we see it's never destruction that sets us free? It's that crazy mix of love, hope, and defiance. Going it alone till we walk into alliance. Mastering the power of our pain by giving love a chance to hurt and heal again. This beast within, this animal wounded by distrust and damnation. I set it free, I let it live. Ideas in my head like stars in the night sky. I made my bed long time ago in the deep dark of my soul. So long this earth keeps spinning, yet you people still sacrifice for winning. Scars in the face of Mother Earth, scars on the breasts of Sister Earth, scars on the vulva of Daughter Earth, the torture done in worship of the bull and holy sun, crucified minds, people living on their knees, colorless masses chained to a whip, to a world under the whip of wage slavery. Bow your head to the mean, bow your head to the screen, bow your head, remain unseen. Well, fuck not me. Every breath, each dancing step says I am free. Life screaming through my veins, music pounding through my brains. I ain't crazy, man, I'm just nuts in a ball bag. So long the earth keeps spinning, so long we run along with the waves, the beat, the earth heartbeat. So long my head's been spinning, I'm the gyroscopic man. So long the earth's been spinning, how to know who and where I am. So long my head's been spinning, I'm the gyroscopic man. So long the earth's been spinning, how to get to where we can survive the maddening echoes of the past. Religious death cults never meant to last. Too long we kick the can and hide our head in the sand. Pioneers left out to die. So long the earth's been singing. How much longer do we make life cry? While all it takes is having a heart to try. Fist, kiss, fist. Exist, create, resist. So long the earth's been spinning. And we got nothing, yet everything to lose. Okay, not doing love poems. Not doing love poems, not today. Well, not. Only horny love poems. Let's put it that way. Let's do this one first. That moment when people trying hard to rattle your cage suddenly realize there ain't no cage to rattle. The fear you then hear is the howling of their inner beast, sensing reality of freedom beyond the dismissive, derisive, decisive, fettered mausoleum mind graves. Longing is a freedom, having is a burden. The opposite is just as real. To have a longing to have, a quest for experience, while it's what you call the colors that sets the scene for how you feel, regardless of circumstance, living naked all the time. Wildflowers in the city jungle, sailors on the cosmic sea. That's fun. if I close the door, I won't hear the bell, which is kind of counterproductive if you're waiting for brunch. But I don't want to make too much noise for the people. Which anyway. Cool enough. Horny eyes growling for pain to destroy with pleasure. Growling for communication in the flesh. Devouring devotion, carnal communication. Fingers writing melodies. Tales of adventure whipped up in a frenzy of delight. Bodies become landscapes as we climb a mountain of togetherness. Feeling waves rise. A moonlight ride over the compassionate sea. The surface of the cauldron of desire. Drink, my love. Feast on my flesh. Read my skin. Feel my tongue talking surrender. Acceptance of letting go. Go on, growls to groaning, kisses to moaning, fingers to fists to fearlessness. Orgasm lurking like death, orgasm dancing like life. Horny eyes growling. Love the beast for its beauty, more than you fear your own ugliness reflected. Yeah, I find that such a fucking, I mean, that first line already, like, horny eyes growling for pain to destroy with pleasure. Because that's how do you destroy pain? Pleasure, man. Learn to have fun, and just allow it, even if it fucking hurts. Positive trauma hurts just as fucking much, we say, It's that raw desire for absolute fucking amazing, astounding beauty, And our last line as well, that's what always comes in between the thing, Love the beast for its beauty more than you fear your own ugliness reflected. I mean, it's like, from my experience, it's like people split everything in good and bad, and then, down to fucking atoms, and then they go like, whoa, shit, this is toxic. Yeah, it is toxic. Stop splitting everything. It's not all firewood. For fuck's sakes. It's about integration. It's about fusion, And then oftentimes it's like, because you get passionate in love, you fuse all your fucking emotions. And if you're not used to that, because it includes all your anger and your pain and your fear and your desire and your disgust and your self-hatred and the whole fucking miasma, it's like, whoa, what the fuck? And then when you get into the let's tone this down and be normal phase, it's like you start chipping bits and pieces off of yourself, or expect the other person to, that's where shit hits the fan. No broken heart, love poems. No broken heart. I'll need to get another book. Oh, fuck's sakes. Trying to keep an ear out. Meantime, I hope the sound is good. But it doesn't really show up there. It shows up on the thingy over there that says, like, yeah, you got voice. So I think it's good. Let me see. How many have we got in the green? Oh, maybe a bit higher. Turn it up a bit. See if that's any better. I don't know. Does it peak anywhere? No, it doesn't say peak, so it should be good. Anyway, because I have a tendency to start loud and sort of start mumbling, so, you know. Oh, what's in here? This one's called Fresh Dirt. Wrote it about a year. Yeah. December 2019. Yeah. I feel so terrible every time I meet people, and I remember their face, I remember their voice, and that's about it. And by the time they clued in that I don't remember, I kind of start remembering sort of what they're about, but that's usually doesn't cut it. That's usually like 30 seconds after they walked away with a face of like, that guy's a jerk, you know. Sucks. Anyway, Ballad of the Starlight Cowboy. In a bar called Double Trouble, triple fuck-ups were the daily staple. Said in a bar called Double Trouble, triple fuck-ups were the daily diet, yeah. Empty glasses flying, aimed precisely to just miss. Just hitting the atmosphere with shattering dreams. And the Starlight Cowboy is always here. He's always near. Star-studded black hats shielding a grin. Starlight Cowboy with the golden glass, your iconic, ironic, regular Mr. Sour Mash. And times moved on, and while the bar sang a crusty three-chord rock song, the neighborhood went pop. Till in a cold blue morn, Big Money came crashing down the door, saying, now get the fuck out, the lease is up. And while the cops evicted the last freak haven in a dying town, the owner held their leashes, gorging on power and clam pasta just across the fucking road. Meanwhile, that Starlight Cowboy was left without a place to go. So he beat up a cop and got swiftly picked up and dropped off in psychiatry, where his diet went from scotch to pills and his kicks got turned to chills. So when they turned him out back on the street, with his dusted cowboy hat mercilessly thrown at his feet, the studded stars had lost their shine, clasping to the pill bag as his new gold mine. Yet a loss of Double Trouble triple fucked him up over and under. Emergency exit, bar's last call. The mind-fucked pills like in a thirst blowing in from the desert. He swallowed them all. And after pulling the empty plastic bag straight over his head, he perched that star-studded hat right on top of his dying head. Man left for dead, man left for dead. And I can't recall a single word he said. Starlight Cowboy in a triple fuck-up storm, in a dying land where simple double trouble is deemed beyond the norm of doable reality. Well, fuck you, sacrifice the norm. Fuck you, sacrifice the norm. Fuck you, sacrifice the norm. Suffocating cowboys over a shot of gold. Some stories shouldn't happen. That's why they so need to be told. I wrote the Ballad of the Starlight Cowboy, and I've been crying ever since. Like that weeping willow yonder, I don't need to wait for sins. As I watch over the worlds of tomorrow, how can now please be the seed of a dawn beyond the touch of sorrow? Yeah, I was going to say it's the first time I managed to read that one without starting to cry halfway, but Every day don't matter as long as it's there. Every night you toss and turn just because you care. Care enough to notice, care just enough to let go. Care enough to go beyond. Care just enough to know. As you watch the butterfly, that mirror in mind's eye, beat the drum, clap your wings. Beat the drum, take your stance. Aerial ballets in mind space. Care enough to notice, care enough not to let go. When from the north that cold reason blows, clap, don't clip. Clap, don't clip that frequency of mind. That kill zone touch when no silence could be louder. Reassuring repetitions till you're dying for it to end. No silence could be louder. So beat that drum hung in my chest. Coercion strangling blood-soaked Laocoon group. Mind in fantasies of absence, as if abstain from life we could. That kill zone touch, a brush with death. Keep on painting. Pound that drum, pound for pound. Right to live, left to be found. Yeah. Gee, this would be more fun with an interaction. And I'm not like I need applause. Applause is only reference to the fact that people got what you're doing in the first place. So that's handy. It's about interaction. And that's kind of like, it's kind of working in the void, isn't it? This kind of thing. It is. It's kind of working in the void, which is basically what you do. Let's say if you're lying sick in your bed, stuck in a prison cell, stuck in relations where you're not even left enough room to breathe or be, or when you're like, having to go out there on a limb to fix something that no one has a clue how to do, most and foremost you. But you're logically, coherently aware enough to know that life is a dance into the unknown anyway, so you just might as well, try it out. Do it. That's that creepy feeling, the I think, therefore I am. I mean, what a void are you living in? And what a physical disconnect to come to the idea, you just go, I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think. I did a t-shirt a couple of days ago. What does it say? I exist, therefore I'm not impossible. And the not between brackets, because it comes down to the Schrodinger thing, right? I'm impossible. According to a lot of people, I'm very impossible, but I exist, therefore I'm not impossible. I think that was a joke why I made the t-shirt, but yeah, it was. But But it is still that thing. And I think it's got to do with the fleetingness of identification. Like something, was that really me? Did I really say that? Well, you know what I mean? Whatever the fuck you've been doing. You know. Anyway. Waiting for lunch. Yeah. So anyway, I made these drums. It's flexible plywood and regular plywood, scraps off of a wood workshop, and then I put some wool fabric over them that I got donated from somewhere else. And they're like in-house drums. You can play them, you get enough because it's a wooden top, and then with the felt over it, it softens and at the same time it brings out more of the different sound color. And they're quiet enough so you can just, like, you know, play drums in-house and not bother anybody, which is always great. I mean, you know, I got this neuro disorder, and more I'm noticing that basically what's kept me together all my fucking life is this rhythm habit and singing habit. And, you know, if you spend too much time tapping your fingers on the counter, people get nervous. Get a drum. Fuck them. Next thing you know, they're going like, wow, that's nice. Way better approach to it. And the thing is, music and rhythm patterns go beyond the fucking neuro dysfunction. It's as simple as that. It takes openness. It takes doing it, you know, but it definitely makes huge difference. So, like, if with this lockdown shit and everything, you're sitting at home frustrated, don't take the loudest thing to go drum on. Take the most quiet, you know, something that doesn't make too much sound, but it gives you a bit of fucking rhythm color. Just sit there tapping that thing. If you know, you can't go out or what the fuck ever, you know, try making some music, you know, singing, whistling is very healthy for respiratory. And what it does is, you know, a lot of people think they can't sing. It's because they don't have body tone. I'm not saying everybody can sing like a nightingale. Nightingales is one kind of bird. There's thousands of kinds of birds out there. And some of them you go like, ouch. They don't give a fuck. They sing like that. You know, so it's not about let's torture each other with how bad we can sing. It's more like if you start breathing and then you start humming like, sort of like you feel it resonate in your body. And then you feel where it goes through and where it doesn't. And then you can sort of like start shifting your tone. Like, and you start feeling what resonates where. The more you do that, the more you're going to start noticing that there's a fluency that picks up. And it's just like, it's like vibrating massage from the inside out. And it's a weird sign at the times that you can't say vibrating without people going sex toys, but it's a very good thing. Way better than chastity belts, which also exists for men, by the way. So, anyway, yeah, they used to put them on boys to stop them from masturbating. So, you know, wank away, fellas. You know. No, seriously. I mean, the old Greeks apparently thought, you know, I mean, do what the fuck ever, but you don't masturbate because it's like murder, which it ain't. But anyway, where do we get off topic there? Vibrating massage when you're humming. Yes, because, you know, it's resonance. And that's something that, you know, you don't need instruments for. Humming does not, you know, and if you do it with the kids or with however you are together in the fucking house, you get the giggles, guaranteed, because everybody starts at a certain point just feeling like they all start sounding silly, and then you start sounding silly as well, and you just start giggling, and it kind of tones people out. It's a good stress releaser for like, you know, solo or family groups or whatever. Just let's level a fucking frequency. Frequency is a vibration, right? It's a vibe. So it's a way of vocally, I wouldn't say harmonizing, because that'll sound, you know, it immediately sounds like we all got to be, fuck that bullshit. There's only a harmony beyond the motherfucking chaos. That's the fun of it. That's where diversity preaches its fucking self. You know. But it's healthy. That's what I was going to. I'm just ranting, aren't I? But anyway, waiting for brunch. Let's do another poem. Oh, okay, yeah. I wasn't going to do songs, but this one is so fucking funny. I'm just going to do it. Should I try it with drums? Oh, that's going to be tricky. I've never tried this with drums. So yeah, as you noticed, I'm not selling anything. I'm not trying to convince you anything. I couldn't care less about how you're supposed to fucking do this, because life doesn't fit that way. Not to me any fucking which way, you know. I just felt like some company and sharing whatever's going to come through the door, and you know, it's an offering of these organic little companies that start showing up, and then, you know, they want their friends to feel good about what they're doing, and then their friends start, you know, going like, hey, this is a fun initiative, let's see if we can like share this with other people. And then I get a call going like, you want brunch this weekend, we're buying, because in their words, you deserve it. My mind doesn't work in ways of deserving and not deserving, which is huge amount of why I have such trouble in, you know, what is still contemporary society with its whole bullyish and you know, you don't deserve heaven, you deserve hell, and you know, we're here on earth, so I'll just be mean to you now and then I'll pay you a little, and you know, all that bullshit. It's just like, please, people, you know, just chill the motherfucker out. But anyway, so yeah. So the idea was just to like, you know, share the brunch and my findings on the brunch. Not that this is like anywhere near a good commercial move for whoever's making it to go like, check out that guy. He's got a good review on my, I mean, I don't even know if it's going to be a good review. You know, if I like it, if it's good stuff, I don't even have to like it. If it's good stuff, you know. But anyway, so no, I mean, throughout this whole ranting and shit, I don't really think it's going to be a review material for her to go like, you know, I have a good online review, check out that guy. But anyway, I couldn't care. I'm having fun with it by now. So here's this song I wrote about, I don't know. Oh, it says solstice, summer solstice. Oh, I noted it. It's summer solstice 2019. I wrote 1, I wrote a few pieces there. I'll do the poem. No, I'll do the song first. I've only got ink in my well. That's why I'm ever so thirsty. When the bucket goes down, I wait with a frown, but I've only got ink in my well. Open so to quench my thirst, but instead my head with words it bursts, 'cause I've only got ink in my well. I've only got ink in my well. Poems and stories to tell. Ain't got no home but worlds to roam, 'cause I've only got ink in my well. I'm a sailing pen on a page, streams of love and storms of rage. We're nothing to show but a show to perform, 'cause I've only got ink in my well. The surface is staring at me, a stirring and whirling mystery, a pint, a cup, the wild blue sea. In dreams I drowned and rode to town in a rusty ink-stained bucket, with poems and songs and stories to tell, 'cause I've only got ink in my well. I went to the doctor to tell of the famine and thirst I feel, the starving dreams, the way it seems this world was written in hell. The doctor did quickly proceed. She said, take the weight off your feet. As she opened a vein in search of the pain, her face turned as white as a sheet. She said, man, I can see what's wrong. There's only one thing to be done. You're made out of words, so let them be heard, for you've only got ink in your well. Now keep your mind a blank page, and don't let time erase the lines of the stories only life tells as you draw up the bucket clear to see. You've only got ink in your well. And you draw them out in your skin, and you spread them as you laugh and sing. Do your best and your worst, it's a blessing and curse when you've only got ink in your well. This unquenchable thirst makes you drink till you burst, the nectar of wishing will. For I've only got ink in my well. The funny thing is these just pop up like that, just the whole fucking melody and the whole thing. Personally, I think it's a bit long, but a fucking lovely piece of weirdness. Yes. Poem. Yeah, this poem I wrote like probably 5 minutes before I wrote that. Iridescent, maddening moonlight as she wanes across my mind. Through the darkness I embody, the sadness I imbibe. When floodgates of laughter release the flow of subterranean tears, as we dance upon the surface, fingers tiptoe on the skull, as we dance upon the crust, the ever-healing wound of wisecracks whipping your mind into a frenzy over how the ties of life weave the carpet of realities with gold and silver thread. Moon and sun keep the weaver on the run. Park bench loom, darting skittle eyes. Do you really expect to see your face in that mirror in the skies, while its kaleidoscopic travel shows more than galaxies to behold? Yeah, it was such overbearingly fucking narcissistic species. It's amazing, man. I mean, really, there's like billions of other species on this planet, and I bet you there's more selfies of people circulating per fucking minute on the internet than pictures of all the other fucking life forms on the planet. And we think we're doing great. fucking lousy. And that way we drowned in our own fucking subconscious, you know. Narcissism, for fuck's sakes, man. The gluttony of the fucking human species is just, oh. And yeah, I'm hungry for my lunch. This is the macro, the whole fucking thing. You know, you can't excuse yourself for being part of the fucking human race, but that's not an apology for how the fuck we act as a species. Fuck's sakes. No, not singing that one. Ah, there you go. Profiles say so much. Profiles only say so much. They are literally a sideways view. Hence, I so prefer connecting with the full face frontal you. And that goes for the. I was thinking about political correctness when I wrote that. Because that is the motherfucking thing. People are either screaming and bullying on internet, or they're fucking trying to show they're bester than best. Like, you know, stick a pair of clean undies on your face and go like, hey, I'm immaculate. Fuck that bullshit. You know. Yeah, you can regard this as the first episode of Radio Tourette. You know, we swear by it. I'm so fed up with the, oh, you can't this, you can. You're all watching porn like fucking crazy, and most of it is bloody disgusting. But if I say fuck or fart in public, I'm to be fucking expelled? Get a fucking grip. Really. Reality bites, and not just when it's a freaking little virus. Okay, I'm ranting. Healthy. Ranting is a free flow of the fucking mind. It's open connectivity. It's not like I will now be mean to you specifically until you crunch. That is disgusting. Ranting is just like shit. You see the beauty and the ugliness at the same time, and that's the arc. That's the tension arc called life. That's the fucking inspiration. The way we name our urges, drifts, passions, and emotions, like marker buoys on the rum line to good hope, that the swell and rising tide may disappear in the dark and hollow waters between the thundering salt wave slopes. It's the currents that we steer by, those of the wind as those below. So remember the markers past as reference points duly in your wake, lest you find yourself tacking around one buoy forevermore. That's the good boy merry-go-round, isn't it? Oh, look. You know. Speaking of the tension arc, yeah, the bottom line is 6 feet under, not 6 figures up. That's the thing, you know, I mean, sacrifice. What does it mean? Does the fire sacrifice the wood for the gifts of warmth, light, and clean, healing charcoal and ash? Natural transformation. So why should it hurt? Like a fasting hunger, a crying, rancid rain of loss. The daily bloodletting admonished near demonically by the cat that traded 9 lives for 9 tails. When all we get in turn is a barren well to the world. Transform naturally. We grow out of our days through endless nights, out of our shells, ripping as we're healing, sharing silly sweetness from the sparkling wishing wells that spring up in our rediscovered natural minds. I guess when I wrote that, I was thinking about the massive amount of bullying goes along with these new age colonists in mind space. And I'm not referring to just the fucking new age movement or people that identify with that. You know, am I the only one to see parallels between pedophilia and people always wanting the newest, freshest, aka newly born idea? They want it in their baby state. Yeah, and then somewhere along the line, there's a fucker that does it in the physical form. If we all fucking tone down and let things ripen a bit, we wouldn't fuck up the planet so much by just going like, hey, guess what? I discovered a fucking fascinating thing. Plastic. It doesn't decompose. Let's throw it all over the planet until 50 years later, somebody goes like, shit, it doesn't decompose. That's not so practical. You know what I mean? In a way, that's mental fucking pedophilia. Anyway, nothing takes as long as waiting, which is why making people wait in sin for life after death is just the cruelest fucking misconception of how people should relate to living on this fucking planet. It's disgusting. Utterly freaking disgusting. And now, since I'm in Amsterdam and I'm absolutely legal to do this here, and I marked the show not for kids, I'm just going to, meantime, roll a little spliffy. Well, I'm waiting for lunch by trying not to wait for it. It's like orgasm, isn't it? I mean, and I damn well only speak from my experience because come to think of it, I don't think I've ever had even an inkling of not even a near decent fucking conversation with any other male. I really don't relate to the male side of the species, do I? I even have trouble saying other male. I don't think I've ever had an even half-bit conversation about sex with a man. Like, conversation with a man about sex. That's it. Order is important. It's just you can't enforce it. Yeah, that's the whole thing. This time. All 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 this time. See, that's kind of the next step after humming. If you take like one line or two lines and you start singing them and you roll your breath through it. So it's almost like instead of breathing, you just loop. It's a bit like, I reckon it's a bit like circular breathing that people use when they play double reed instruments or didgeridoo. But what that does is it really sets a loop through your body going. That's sort of like, you know, yeah, it's stimulating because it's like it aligns the inner orchestra. Let's put it that way. You got a bunch of rhythms going through your body, and it sort of like brings them all into a sort of like, you know, cohesion. Which is why it's the basis of prayer and you know, mantra singing and everything. But you know, even say your dad just died, if you sit down and just go like, daddy's dead, daddy's dead, daddy's dead, and it's okay. You just keep singing that. You don't have to believe the motherfucking thing. You don't have to sit there like, oh, that's the only thing I'm going to do. Moments where you feel like, quietly, gently, boo, 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 boo. It can also be the cat's alive, the cat's alive, the cat's alive, hooray, hooray, the cat's alive, yay, 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 the cat's alive, the cat's alive, the cat's alive, the cat's alive. You know what I mean? If you start doing it that way, yes, either do it with a lot of you or somebody's going to start getting seriously annoyed when they're living with you. But that is the basis of freaking prayer or whatever. It's just rhythmic breathing that aligns the tonalities of your body, you know, because I mean, we're as fixed faded on the brain as we used to be on God, you know what I mean? It's a bit over accentuated, you know. It's like the switchboard is not the telephone line, you know. Anyway, I find it so fucking fascinating, and that's something that I reckon. And I don't really give a shit about age in the sense that I feel so much fucking younger than 20 years ago, right? But and it's not that I'm going senile, haha. It's basically that there's such an astounding amount of information. Just, you know what I mean? I just spend like, I don't know, 14 hours just going through science lectures and you know what I mean? And that's just like, pew, click of a button, tack, tack, tack. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that might connect to that. Let's tack, 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 tack. You know what I mean? It's like having the exponential of the Library of Alexandria just at the bottom of your freaking fingertips, right, wherever the fuck you're living, unless you're like too deprived to have that connection. And people that know me know that, you know, I have experience with not being able to, which is probably, no, it's not because I've missed it that I appreciate it more. That's the raggedy fucking tackle bullshit that when you get in the fucking dumps, that's the one you need to fucking battle, because that's what you face with everybody around you. And absolutely no offense to a lot of people around me that have been absolutely superb to me. I'd say that as well. But yeah, you know, that whole thing of the you have to suffer to get there. No, you don't have to suffer. You'll suffer any fucking which way, especially if that's how you interpret what fucking shit is going down. But you don't have to suffer. And we definitely don't have to make each other suffer to make sure we'll make it to, I don't know, that job or that exam or heaven or what the fuck ever. Motivation. You know. And I can very well start with going like, yeah, if it's meant to be that I get through that exam, then I'll get there. And then you start to sit and take in the fucking material. You know. We waste the little mind control that we have on butchering and bullying each other into usually submission to shit that we don't want to have anything to do with either, but we're programmed to behave like that because that is normal based on what was thought to be normal over the past 2,000 centuries in a continuous evolution, because it was never the fucking same anyway. So what the fuck? You know, it's great to get into a rage about how fucking everybody should just chill out. Yeah. So I'm absolutely curious if there's any viewers. I would love some feedbacks and comments because, you know, I exist anyway. So if this is amusing to people, you enjoy the poetry, you take something away from it, you know, it makes you see things with a bit more appreciation of what the fuck ever, or you completely hate my guts and I gave you a reason to go off. That guy is awful. Good, you let off some steam. Happy for you. You know, waiting for brunch. They were going to be here between 11:30 and 1 something. It's 1:45. Oh, I got a message. Okay. Oh, yes, somebody likes the idea here. Art likes the idea. So I'm going to send him a message. Is it running okay? And then we'll find out. This is fun. You know, I'm like, interaction should come in. And boom, guess what? There's a message. I was just checking the time. It's 1:45. Okay. So, shit, I just tilted my neck. Okay. Maybe I should read the piece of a book I published already. That'll be fun. The stuff I was reading before is yet unpublished, but if you like it, there's plenty more on the YouTube channel. And there's a few pieces that I did publish, but they're like stream of consciousness. So that's like one running text. In a way, I was thinking about it before, and in a way, it's like, no, I'm going to get into art history at another point, not now. I'm just going to rant this one out. Our ways of organizing are frankly insane, in that we work with top-down systems that care not for the actual well-being of the individual, but do feel and feed the need to dictate their basic existence to the point where they become a pile of shiftable files full of data, both a life form under a microscope and a speck of dust trailing in the wind. It does mirror how, for instance, every moment in time carries its weight into our lives and leaves us for oblivion instantly, or how every meal is a daily victory feast to survival, yet fades with digestion. It's gotta come first. Did we create a social structure mimicking our digestive tracts or bodies, like flocks flying to become a greater beast, a cloud, a spirit omnipotent? Then why don't we fly? Take a higher perspective on the matters at hand and follow curiosity rather than stone-cut traditions and routines. Our survival's only vested interest lies in the future, and the future is not simply prolonging the now as we know it with a vested interest in a status quo of hubris. Quite the frickin' contrary. Pre-religious beliefs often speak of things as energies, and guess what? Science proves them true of sorts. If all is one energy and endless diversity, I can see that as a source to worship and ever evolve in and find answers and questions in.
And if all is energy, then as with fluids and winds and electricity, stagnations in form lead to overloads in the circuitry, floods, storms, short-circuit burnouts, socially speaking, wage slavery, overproduction, pollution, conflict patterns. Society is constipated on scones baked in Rome's furnace and fed to emperors worldwide, while the gladiators now play soccer or football or robot wars, and all roads lead everywhere and back, all around. Because fuck, we're on a ball. There's no way to get away from consequence after all. And maybe I'm giving the Romans too much credit as well. They had the habit of getting people to do that. And our economic system still ailed from the same malady, equally exponential in growth as the masses in the streets. There's no such thing as too big to fail. Ask the dinosaurs, they'll tell you. Well, they're extinct, so pity, eh? We owe ourselves more than we can produce, and most of what we produce becomes landfill waste. And we cap that in a variety of hierarchic systems that exploit a brutish, dominant, submissive trend. And we're okay with that because the surgeon can't operate on himself. Strange creatures we are. I'll be curious to see what we ever evolve in. Oh, shall we do another piece of this? The thing with it's completely running text. Actually, I did this is Greensteam. I did a full audio read off of this one last week. I think I put it online. So if you want to hear the full thing, it's just in one go. No music with it, just like today. Well, for now anyway. I don't think I'll be making music online because then I have to move everything around and it's not practically functioning. Okay. Yeah, I'll take this piece, and then as I say, if you want to hear the full essay, it's on the YouTube. So, yes, it does start here. And really, it's not because I'm writing about stuff that I claim to comprehend. Quite the fucking contrary. I haven't got a fucking clue. Writing is like an elaborate message in a bottle. It's an alignment of exclamation marks bent out of shapes into a tangled mess of spooning question marks in an orgy of bewilderment, and then translated into words kept in binary code, 2 languages at a time, one coding thoughts and communication, one coding functions and the digital incubation. It's a vivisection of your life processing and reflections, which is why writers so often go through great lengths to create a panorama that outperforms us as we levitate before the green screen of bare naked realities, dividing our role into conceptual juggling balls as we weave and project fantasies. Is the vanguard on the bridge having its say, always alert to the fact that in crossing the sticks of inertia, you may likely be someone's ugly reflection anytime soon, or someone's beloved reflection, and both may lead to surprising outcomes, as some punch-ups lead to friendship, and some loves lead to nightmarish death and decay. Blip, that was your life. Greenstein. Full of shitloads of crazy questions, but like I said, I was rereading it last week, and if I hear the global discussion going on, then by all means listen to it. I'm not even trying to sell it, right? Because I just put it out for free because there's a lot of fucking valid shit in here. And I wouldn't want people to think like, oh, maybe yes, maybe no, my $5, is it worth it? Screw your freaking $5. Enjoy them. Not saying I don't use money or have use for money. Not saying that it's not welcome, far fucking from it. Donations in all form, welcome. All forms apart from weapons. Don't have any fucking use for those. Don't believe in violence. But I wouldn't want to have that stand in between readers and material, because there's a shitload of fucking good ideas in there. Yeah. And as I say, there's so many switches going on in economy. You know, we're going from economy, which is basically like, from my perspective, economic to ecologic is just like, we got something and we put a price and we name it, and by naming it, we value it. As arbitrary as we fucking want, we value it, right? Whereas ecologic is like, that there. What's its value in the overall cycle of things? And how do we work with that without motherfucking messing up the whole cycle of things? Because we're part of that. So messing up that cycle messes up us. Us up us, whatever. You know. So in a way, it's also like, you know, have the material for free. It's like, you're not paying the apple tree for the motherfucking apple, are you? Right? So yeah, it's an experiment in that sense. You get the material for free. You got anything for free to give around you? And that's it. You know, I'm not going like, you know, I got golden life or what the fuck ever. You know, I'm like, far fucking from it. I'm not even opening that up. But you know, with all this, we have to go to nature and be more natural and this and that. Please, people, leave the fucking woods alone. They've suffered enough. You want to go to nature? Feel the ground under your feet in the fucking city street, right? Earth is there as well. It's not a fucking tiny slab of concrete that's going to stop that magic from reaching you. Trust me. For one thing. But it also comes down to circulation. How do we find new ways to deal with everything so that shit goes around, people still have food, but it's not this freaking predatory economic system, because that's basically the fucking problem. You know, it's just pure predatory fucking economy, whether it's on the earth because we want to take revenge from a fucking comfort position. I mean, our species have suffered for millennia, right? I don't know if you ever lived outside with nothing, but this is a fucking hellhole of a planet to live that way, depending on which fucking climate you're in, you know. And we've made a fucking worse climate of it by creating a fucking urban city, you know, a city jungle, because it's way harder to fucking survive outdoors in a fucking city than it is in the fucking natural woods. Unless people are as kind as the fucking fruit trees and the berry bushes. AKA, they go like, yeah, I have some. There you go. Bakers do that often, for instance. You know. So me wanting to, you know, not caring too much about spreading material is because A, the drive is spread the material. And B, it's also just eco-social experimenting. Everybody go like, okay, let's see, you know, launch something that way and see what comes the other way. And for seeing what comes the other way, I'm sort of like, where's my barge? But it's as simple as that. I would never have thought of going like, you know what, it's a beautiful Sunday, I'll just order lunch from somewhere. I'm, you know, for several reasons, it wouldn't have come up. But the moment somebody else comes up with it, I'm like, fucking brilliant, lovely, I'll enjoy that. And that's the thing, you know, if you leave space for the unexpected, it doesn't have to be a motherfucking monster just because you're scared. You know. And I mean, there's so much logic behind fear. You know, could go on for ages about that. It's a shitload of triggers. I'm really just listening for the bell now. I'm sort of like, that's the thing again, deadline hour. You know, it's like they were gonna deliver. Oh, it's 1 o'clock. It's not here yet. Oh no. Do we panic? No, pan is happy. Again, that's that integral. But I'm just talking like I'm thinking when I'm by myself, right? So this is not a lecture. This is a rant, just freewheeling brain work, right? What was I saying? There you go. You switch track. You're on another track. It's not fucking weird. See if we can jump back to another frequency, to the other frequency, though. Pan. You know, we're talking now pandemic. It's all over the place, you know. But that word, we only remember it, or it's only fucking handed down through, you know, cultural tradition as panic. But pan is just that feeling of overall being you. And again, it's that surge of fucking complete energy. It's where you allow yourself to encourage, endure, feel, procreate, diminish, balance, circulate, dynamize every emotion simultaneously. You know, you just you go beyond those labels of, you know, I was told that that's happy, so when I behave like that, I tell myself I'm happy. And all of those freaking labels that, you know, you have to rip those off from time to time. You know, that's that, you know. You know, each day you wake up, make sure and you shake up the dust that's been settling on your mind. That's that, you know, that's just like freshen that out. Why? Because then the entire surge of emotions is a surge of energy. It's energy in motion. And then you can allow that to be as bland or as colorful or as mixed as you can fucking appreciate. You know. So it's not a product review. It's not a like, we'll mark this a 9 now because they're not, fuck that bullshit. That's where societal framing and you know, peer pressure is just basically people clubbing each other over the head emotionally, mentally. You know, why do that to each other? It really, to me, it often feels like everybody's just making sure that everybody's sinful enough to be redeemed afterwards. You know, it's just, this is like, I'm serious. This is like post-traumatic stress on a cultural level. Is there anybody studying that? Like, you got a war going through a country or through, you know, like last century, you get First World War, Spanish flu, Depression, Second World War, then all the other wars, the Cold War, you know, you just fucking name it. It was horror. It was, you know, the whole nuclear missile crisis for fucking, and then the fucking oil crisis on top of that, and then then all fucking half fucking rock and roll dying off of fucking heroin, and then and then when that was sort of like, okay, they've got so many missiles, they're not gonna blow each other up, and do you know what I mean? And then AIDS came in, and it was again, oh fuck, so now we're not even gonna fuck each other anymore. And it's like the whole fucking horrible century, right? And then you get a young generation that's basically like 90s and 2000. Yeah, you had the war in Middle East and Afghanistan, and then the whole thing in America and shit. But they were by that time, in a way, able to bypass that, I feel, a lot through the fucking digital rise. There's a whole different level of fucking sharing going on. And that makes you able to bypass other shit. You notice in that generation, there's like, fear has changed. I see a lot of existential fright in younger people. Like, really, that motherfucking big question, whoa, what is life? Do I exist? And under what fucking terms? And are they mine? Brilliant. Fucking, being young and getting to those questions, fucking awesome as far as I'm concerned. Hard knocks, such as life, in that regard. Hard knocks doesn't have to be we make it hard on each other, because life is motherfucking hard enough already, right? And bullying does not improve performance on any level, whether you're a fucking CEO or a fucking parent. It doesn't. I'm still waiting for lunch. Boobity boop boo doobie doo boo boo. Let's read another piece. Oh, I want that bell to ring. Is it running okay? I asked, but I didn't get an answer yet. So I haven't got a clue if anybody's watching this. Let's get a text out. Oh, yeah, let's do this one. Jail's just a hotel for canaries in the coal mine. Better bars in the streets than bars in the window. You see, ain't nothing like hypersensitivity to put you in an instant rage. Don't need no cage, don't need no cage. Though my chest can't nearly contain my heart, I don't need no cage, I don't need no cage. As I raise my arms in surrender to your love, my life. Life, I love you beyond dying. Love, I live you beyond crying. Because they always leave, tell me to go, claiming that door won't open no more. When the prince becomes a beast again, they say. They prey on the animal within, while to live without is the only sin. Compassion is life's passion shared. So don't blame no one for daring to care, while nightmares gallop through the empty streets. And the saddest thing is, there's no one out there you want to meet, while the crowd shouts silently, way, way too quietly. Afraid to upset ourselves. Don't need no cage, don't need no cage. Though my chest can't nearly contain my heart. Never said I was a prince in any case. You know I ain't got nothing, I don't even know my face. Just singing like a canary, till time's masks fall in disgrace. Yeah, I ain't got much except for loving in my touch. Yet my hands are in my pockets. and there's no one here to greet. So I'm just singing to the birds again, and I tip my hat to the trees I meet as I stand pissing on their feet. Ashes to ashes, so much fire in between. Ashes to ashes, so much fire in between. Ashes to ashes, don't let it go unseen. I like that one. I did a music version of this one a while back. I haven't put it out yet. It's pretty dark. Son of Medusa, petrified youth, child of the wounded, ever scarring the dawn, scared of its shadows. Son of Medusa amidst the labyrinth of snakes, hissing like fire, forever awake, frozen in motion, transported in time. Son of Medusa, stone carving rhymes in the walls of hiding places, on the city walls that need their traces. Life coloring itself like jungle flowers. Snakes scaling vertebrae till the crown is reached. Sun-child through time. Man-child growling, growing timid and wild. Snake eggs, snake eyes, snake rattle. Hum the hiss, snake roll the drum. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do one more, and then if lunch ain't here yet, no offense, but I'm going to close it up. But there's one that I want to do. Which book is it in, though? I think it's in this one. Isn't it? Yes, it's this one. It's this one. I really enjoy it. I did it live once in September. I wrote this one because I have this complete fucked up neurosensory motorical disorder, which is like, yeah, pretty messed up. So I ended up in an ER once again with basically nothing they can do. But then the following. Newsflash from the corridors of hierarchy. The Holy Trinity has been renamed. In the name of science, that God in the machine at the end of Abrahamic times explaining the universe, though hang on, it'll take centuries just to get through the intro. For now, let me explain. Up to quite recently and for centuries, upon landing in a Western hospital, at some point during the stay and usually close to leaving, either one or both feet first, a young woman of diminutive demure would appear by her bedside, attest to her altruistic best interest in the health of your body and mostly your precious soul by saying she will pray for you, and then subtly inquire into your beliefs in a God that forces you disassociate from natural in-tune being and believe in a mock-up tale of omnipotence. If you are open to hearing the voices of the Holy Ghost and angels in your head, and if you're prepared to take on the suffering of an altruistic truth seeker, chased, chastised, and nailed to the cross of indecision for showing the world a reflection it cannot handle, sharing a baptism in the stream of consciousness that became a ritual of narcissistic suicide, decreeing love is a suffering shared through disconnective obsessional sacrifice and denial. Yet, to my surprise, upon landing my neuro-collapsed ass in yet another emergency room, a trinity of devout, studious adepts of the teachings of psychiatry appeared by my bedside, attesting to their altruistic devotion to my case, saying they will study for me. 3 more years till their illusion of knowledgeability is completed, then chiseling a marble master's degree headstone through thesis and defense till that name plaque is on the fence, declaring theirs is a realm of sanity. And then subtly, they started to inquire. Yes. And then subtly starting to inquire if you sometimes endure bouts of psychosis, disassociations with fractions of reality, thoughts of omnipotence and such. They then asked if at all I heard any voices in my head other than my own, and if all the turmoil of my existence hadn't led me to feel persecuted and nailed down in paranoia, that great realm of fear where Narcissus became a rare desert flower blooming a trail of breadcrumbs through Pan's labyrinth. And I'm lying there with eyes closed, meanwhile waiting till I can move coherently enough to get up and go, get out of their temple of apathy and condescension, priesthood of decreed normalcy and static identity. And I'm just wondering if they'll ever get it, gathering every bit of fatherly understanding in order to forgive innocence its ignorance again. Afterwards, the one doing the talking comes back to inform me they need the room. I need my legs. And I simply ask her why the dedication. According to her, psychiatry is the most interesting field of discovery. And as I see her commanding a psy ward navigating the crazy zones and debris belts out there in mind space, I can't help but warn her it's also the most dangerous one. And as she snickers a denial, thinking I'm referring to ghoulish patients with 2-meter cocks and 100 salivating mouths, spiky fingers and bulging eyes on stilts, chasing her whorish virgin piece of horny ass down a locked corridor, I explain the danger lies simply in the thinking that you know, and the catastrophic sense of entitlement that comes with it, forcing decisions on people's lives that cut like ice pick lobotomies. Out there like a staggering stolen horse, still drowsy and unsaddled, I walk the strain off into the night. As soon as my toes wiggle, I'm off to dance. The only difference is, where 100 years ago, you better swear yes. Now, it's implied, you better say no. No to the trinity of disassociation, fear, and self-loathing. Lunch hasn't arrived. Hope this was fun. If it comes up, I might switch back on. For now, love life. Try kissing your own ass. It's fun. You roll downhill faster than anything. Just don't stick your head up it. You start sounding like a politician otherwise. And where do we start this? End stream, it says. There we go. Your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live. End